The 2025 crypto narrative is shaping up to be privacy. And sitting at the center of it all is Zcash. This misunderstood project just crossed $7 billion in market cap for the first time ever. Arthur Hayes tweeted $10,000 Zcash and the price exploded 30% in 24 hours. In this video, we're covering two things. First, the fundamentals, what Zcash is and why privacy matters. And second, and the most important, the Millionaire Math, bear case, base case, bull case, exactly how much Zcash you need to retire with $1 million. So let's start with the basics and see what makes Zcash different. This is not financial advice, always do your own research. Zcash launched back in 2016, built on Bitcoin's DNA, but with one insane upgrade: privacy. It uses ZK snarks, basically cryptographic black magic to let you prove transaction without revealing a thing. Think of it like Bitcoin wearing an invisible cloak. Even Edward Snowden praised the project's architecture, calling Bitcoin's lack of privacy its biggest long-term flaw. He is right. In a world of surveillance, transparent money can become dangerous. And that's the exact problem Zcash set out to solve. Let's talk tokenomics now, because Zcash basically copied Bitcoin's homework and added some controversial twists. Just like Bitcoin, Zcash has a predictable supply schedule. No surprise tokens, no founder pre-mines dumping on you. Zcash undergoes a halving every 4 years, just like Bitcoin. But here's where it gets interesting. We're fresh off the November 2024 halving, less than a year ago. After the first halving, the token price pumped 400%, and this time, it's up more than 800%. Early Zcash had some controversy, yes. From 2016 to 2020, about 20% of all block rewards went to founders and developers, known as the Founders Reward. Critics called it a tax. In 2020, the Canopy upgrade fixed that. Now miners get 80%, while 12% goes to the Electric Coin Company and the Zcash Foundation for Development, and another 8% funds community projects. It's still centralized funding, but it is transparent and accountable. Zcash remains proof of work. No staking, no yield, no farming. You profit only from the price appreciation. That makes it more like digital gold. Mined, scarce, and held for value. My takeaway here is that Zcash tokenomics are simple. Fixed supply, predictable emissions, decreasing inflation. It's Bitcoin's model with a development fund. If you believe in digital scarcity and privacy, the economics check out. Let's get technical on the project's network performance and ecosystem growth. Zcash isn't trying to be Solana, for instance. It's not about speed, it's about privacy. Here's how it stacks up against Bitcoin. Block time, about 75 seconds versus Bitcoin's 10 minutes. Theoretical TPS, around 27 compared to Bitcoin's 7. Transaction cost, less than a penny. But those stats don't matter as much as its shielded transactions. The Zcash signature feature. And here's something funny. The Arthur Hayes catalyst. On October 26, 2025, BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes dropped a bombshell on X. $10,000 Zcash. That's it. That's the tweet. Within 24 hours, Zcash rallied 30% from $272 to $355. Within 30 days, it crossed $5 billion in market cap for the first time ever. Is $10,000 realistic? We'll get to that in the Millionaire Math section. But the point is, institutional eyes are suddenly on Zcash. Let's be real, Zcash's ecosystem is tiny compared to Ethereum or Solana. No major DeFi protocols, no native NFT marketplaces, no extensive dApp ecosystem. Zcash is a single-purpose tool. Private money. That's it. That is the product. But that's not necessarily a weakness. Bitcoin doesn't have DeFi either, and it's the king. And Zcash is betting that privacy will be valuable enough to justify its existence. And in 2025, with increasing surveillance, that bet looks smarter. Here are some of the latest developments around Zcash as of the first half of Q4. The Electric Coin Company, ECC, released their Q4 2025 roadmap on November 2nd. Zcash is rolling out major privacy and security upgrades. With automatic address rotation for every transaction, better Keystone wallet syncing, and new multi-sig support to protect dev fund resources. In short, stronger privacy, smoother wallet control, and smarter security for Zcash ecosystem. Translation: they are making privacy easier to use. Right now, only about 33% of Zcash supply is in shielded pools. ECC wants that number way higher. Now, I want to draw your attention to one very important aspect. That's decentralization and the risk factors around it. So, is Zcash truly decentralized? Let's be objective. Zcash uses proof of work, which is good for decentralization. But mining is concentrated in a few large pools similar to Bitcoin. For example, one pool via BTC at times controlled over 50% of the hash rate. Now, here's the not so sexy part. The biggest enemy of Zcash is not technology. It is regulation. Privacy coins have been under fire for years. In Europe, exchanges like Binance and OKX threatened to delist them under the MiCA regulations. Zcash survived by introducing transparent exchange addresses. Basically, when you deposit or withdraw from an exchange, it uses a trackable address regulators can actually monitor. It's a compromise of some sort. Less privacy, but more accessibility. Compare that to Monero, which has been delisted almost everywhere because it's private by default. Zcash chose a hybrid path to stay alive actually. In the US, there's no outright ban yet, but regulators are watching very closely. If privacy coins become targets, liquidity could dry up overnight. So make no mistake guys, Zcash is high risk, but if privacy becomes the next big narrative, that risk could pay off massively. It's time to explore the price history and the millionaire math now. Let's talk numbers. Zcash has one of the wildest price histories in crypto, from $876 to $16. That's a 98% collapse. If you bought the 2018 top, you're still underwater. But if you bought the 2024 bottom, you're up 2700%. That's the volatility we're dealing with here. So how many Zcash would you need to become a millionaire? Alright, here's the math. The current price, around $380. So the ultimate question, how many Zcash to become a millionaire? Scenario 1 is, as always, the pessimistic one. If the price hits $1,000, that's over 2.5x from today. You would need 1,000 tokens. That's a total investment of $380,000. That is manageable for whales, but not really for retail. The second scenario is the base case. Zcash hits $2,500. That's over 6.5x move. You would need about 400 tokens to hit $1 million. The total investment, about $152,000. At that level, Zcash would be sitting around 41 billion market cap. That would put it in the top 10 coins worldwide. And the last scenario that will have you drooling is the extreme bull. Here Zcash reaches $10,000. That's a 26 times move from here. You would need just 100 tokens. Investment required is around $38,000. And if Arthur Hayes is right, if the token ever hits $10,000, you only need 100 coins. 38 grand today could turn into $1 million. Reaching the highs we just spoke of will probably require a strong institutional catalyst. And we've already seen some of the glimpses of the impact made by ETFs, VCs, and exchanges. Here's what makes Zcash unique. It's one of the few privacy coins that institutions can actually touch. There's no Zcash ETF, and there probably won't be. But Grayscale launched a Zcash trust holding over $137 million in assets. That's serious capital, guys. Family offices, hedge funds, and accredited investors quietly getting exposure to privacy. Zcash recently got listed on Hyperliquid too, expanding its liquidity options. And while you won't see pension funds buying it, you will find whales accumulating shielded Zcash, the invisible kind. On-chain data shows shielded pool balances at multi-year highs. So even if you can't see who's buying, someone is. So that's Zcash, a project that refuses to fade, built on the idea that privacy still matters in a world that's forgotten it. Whether it ever reaches those price targets or not, Zcash is a reminder of why crypto exists in the first place. Now, if you found this breakdown useful, guys, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the airdrops.com channel. It really helps the channel grow, and I'll be truly grateful. That's it from me, Stan, for today. Till next time, see ya.